Welcome back. Welcome to another edition of Nain's Shorts. Training. We continue on doing it. And we've been talking about the idea of what are we teaching our students and how do we go about doing it better. That's really all we're trying to do. And everyone's going to have their own take on it. You're more than welcome to join in and share with us your ideas because, hey, there are never enough ideas. We can always figure out where they intersect and how then we can grow off each other. Because if we can find that commonality, then we're able to adapt to what we understand, okay? And it becomes part of ours versus just part of, oh, this is my secret stuff, his secret stuff. And there's no separation.
Do I have any secrets?
No, he doesn't. It's just really weird that people think he
You'll know
does.
the entire system.
If you study every single episode, you will know the entire system, except the stuff we haven't come up with yet.
Right.
Which brings me to my next point. Some individual has been recognized as innovator in the martial arts, which is bullshit because most of that is or my ideas.
He's probably right. Or at least that's what we tell everybody.
Exactly. But what does that really mean? Now, from my perspective, having been brought up training originally with Danny and then becoming his student over the years, taking private classes with him, I've seen an evolution and it doesn't seem to be stopping anytime soon. In other words, we haven't really fixed on any solidified system or structure. We have very basic ideas. But we don't have much of the structure that comes with it. We do have concepts of where we want to take our students as practitioners, but we don't really have any. All right, this is this level, and this is this level, and we're going to reach black belt. We don't have any of that. Part of it allows us to really kind of free flow things back and forth, and I guess that's where the innovation comes in.
It's funny. A good friend of mine, Dennis Duarte. You know who you are.
Empathy Man. Haven't used that name in a while.
He says, I don't have a school.
Uh-huh.
For him, it's more of like, he doesn't teach, he shares.
I do like that concept.
Right. He isn't about having this whole thing.
Right.
But when it's sharing, it's a lot different. And I think we kind of fall under that category.
I guess so.
Right. Because we don't really have a curriculum like a school would have. We don't have all those, bylaws and belts and da-da-da-da.
Nope.
So I think what we do is we just share what we have with a bunch of people who keep coming.
Yeah.
We give them, the first 3 months, we give them these very basic ideas. Like you said, we're just
Movements, yeah.
doing movements. But once we get past that, once they know just enough to get themselves in trouble,
then we point out they're getting in trouble.
then we point out how to get into better trouble, right? But I think that's what we do,
Yeah, and and again, I guess that's where the innovation comes in. We're not bogged down by names and titles. Like, for example, you see the idea of this, right? Everyone has a different name. Now, when I do it circular, I'm told that that's called different than when I'm doing it stagnant, linear, like this. I know it as Sinawali. Now, for me, that's just a movement. For other people, they can argue all day about what that's really called, where it really comes from, should get credit for it. And honestly, I couldn't care less. Not that I don't think that's important, but it's just not important to me. It's important to other people.
Yeah, and if you talk to the right or wrong person, you're either going to get punched or handshake.
Yeah, pretty much, right? Depending on which side you're on, or what skin tone or what island you were born on, that makes a big difference, right?
Yeah.
For some people. For us, that's just movement that we teach our students to understand how not to hit your own stick when you're crossing things. It's for coordination. But what does it become later on? Oh, there's a hubat lubat. Oh, look, we did the 6 count, so now I can do it on the outside, I can do it on the inside, I can do it on the outside again, I can do it on the inside again. It doesn't matter, it's just the movement of the hands and then what you do with them later on. Because you could do it with sticks, you could do it with empty hands, you could do it with punches, you could do it with strikes, you could do it with knives, pens, but it doesn't matter because it's the movement that we focus on, and that's what we pass on to the students.
Yeah. One of our favorite phrases, we're not going to teach you how to swing a stick, we're going to teach you the motion.
Mm-hmm. What you do with it later on, that's on you. Officer, we never taught him how to swing a weapon. We just taught emotions.
We just taught the motions.
But you know, and as silly as that sounds, that's literally what we do. And for me, that is just a deconstruction of what was the original structure, which was Pikiti Tertia originally.
Right, originally.
Right? And it wasn't even a complete version of it. It was just some pieces of it that Danny brought home from the military. And then it got stripped further down, and then we kept on stripping it further down, and probably the students ahead of us are going to keep on stripping it down and, I don't know, do something with it. We don't know. We don't care. Because it's on them now. It's theirs.
Yeah, when we use the phrase "make it your own," we literally mean make it your own.
So how do we go about doing that? Actually, I would love to use. It took 35 minutes. 30 minutes. It took him 30 minutes to teach an entire like seminar class how to hook, and then we had an extra 15 minutes where they just got to play and free flow and try to use it whenever they could. From beginners to advanced students in the FMA, they all learned and took away something because we focused less on the result and more on the process. Is that what it was?
I think you're absolutely right. Is the process, and how did we get them from point A to point B to be able to do these things that most people say is a little more difficult than usual.
Right, and those of you that were there, you should remember because this guy was in a sling.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
And
He was in
now.
a sling. Now he has a neck.
Next year I'll be in another sling.
He'll have a peg leg.
In a peg leg.
All right, so I would love to go quickly
real
through
quick,
this
we'll
because
do that.
that's I
All
thought.
right. I'm gonna let him do all the explaining because I'm just standing here.
So the first thing that we did is like basic strikes, right? Just hit one another. Now, what are we doing here? Well, for most people, they're hitting sticks. So we change the focus and we say, okay, now your focus is to hit the face. So you're really trying to hit the face. All right, but honestly, you can't get through the stick because you're swinging. So what would be the next logical step? Well, hit the hand. So why not try to hit the hand? Hit the hand every single time. So one person's constantly trying to hit the hand. Okay, what are they getting out of it? For those of you who practice martial arts, especially Filipino martial arts, and are advanced enough, you know what this is really becoming, or the things that you're learning.
Targeting.
Right? Because then it's the idea of like, okay, how do you then target even better? Well, what if you just use the tip? So now it's just the tip. Instead of whatever part of the stick hits, now you're just using the tip. No matter what he's doing, I'm just focusing on hitting the tip. But that's just the weapon hand. You also have a live hand, and being close quarter fighters, I should be able to reach this. Oh, okay. But look, I'm still attacking the hand. So now we're going back and forth, and we're learning how to target the hand again. Oh, cool. But what the hell does this have to do with hooking? Well, nothing really. Because next, after that, we had them punch each other as they're doing their 1 and 2. Just punch the hand. Again, what the hell does this have to do? They had fun doing it because you tell the martial artists to hit each other in the fist, and they all seem very happy to do so. It's weird. But then we said, how about we use the puño? So now, okay, so you're getting targeting from this. You're changing your range from the tip to the puño. You're using your empty hand along with it. Okay, so now we're doing all these things. Very simple. Now all of a sudden, where does hooking come into play? Well, I just hit him with my puño. Isn't that what you use to hook? Okay, so what if I then... Oh! Okay, instead of hitting him, what if I just raise my... Oh, okay, the instruction was raise your wrist a little bit. Now you got the hook. Oh, look. Now I can hook no matter what at any given point and still be able to take care of it or move back and hit the tip again. Woo! And that literally was the lesson. It was the first time we tried it.
Yeah.
And the first time we tried it, we thought about it. He asked me, hey, what do you think about this? I was like, okay, what about this? What about this? Oh, then we would need to add that and this. And we talked about it. My idea.
I'll let him do it.
But
let him say that.
Then it was tested. He was asked to do a seminar. He was given, 45 minutes?
Yeah, 45 minutes.
45 minutes. Actually, my Cardenas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At one of the VEAs.
At one of the VAs, which you should go to. It's on the 9th, November. So make sure you're there. And we did that with 2 different groups of students, and the results were incredibly fascinating. Even people that had never picked up a stick were able to start hooking at their level, of course. Nothing, super fancy, but just enough to be able to actually accomplish the goal. And the thing about it is that in order to do all those things, and as we were driving home, I was looking back at it and thinking, did we just teach people how to step in and bridge a gap without talking about footwork at all?
Right.
Because the sheer distance of the stick itself forced them to, one, stay at whatever largo or medio, long or medium range. But the moment that they had to use their live hand or their puño, they bridged the gap without even thinking about it.
Without even us bringing it up.
Right, and we didn't even mention it. And the crazier part about it is that when they bridged the gap, they bridged it with structure.
Yeah.
Nobody was outstretched. Nobody was taking long steps to get in. Nobody was off balance. Everyone was just so focused on accomplishing this part in front of them that their body naturally did all the other things that they learned in all their other martial arts. Because they've done footwork in other martial arts. Regardless of what level they're in, they've done their stances. They've shifted from one place to the other. And they were able to accomplish all that without actually thinking about it.
Right.
So part of what I realized was that if we change the focus of the student, and instead of trying to teach them something that they probably already did at some degree, we focus that attention on completing a task that they may not be familiar with. But in order to accomplish it without even telling them, they brought in all their stuff.
Yeah, they bring in what their own knowledges had that they had already built into themselves.
Yeah, like Bear said, they inserted their shit without being told, insert your shit.
Yeah, and I think the most fun of that is that I had received a text like months later, saying hey, your stuff shit has worked, dude.
Yeah.
My targeting is so much better, this and that and whatever. I'm like, cool.
I just was trying to fill 45 minutes and I failed at that.
Yeah,
Like, honestly, that was the takeaway for us.
Yeah.
Is like, we were supposed to do this for 45 minutes and we
failed.
failed.
What a bunch of assholes. We shortchanged everybody, fuckers.
Because to us, the focus was, how do we pass on this information? And I don't know if I would call you innovative.
Different.
It's different.
Different.
For sure. But what can we take away from this? As instructors, what can we really reel in from this idea? One, curriculum is great. We need it. We need the structure. We need the base. We do need that in order to work off of it.
And we do have curriculum
Yeah.
in the very first 3 to 4 months because it is important. Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely important. But at what point do you start branching off? At what point do you start focusing on purpose or outcome rather than performance? Rather than being able to do the moves the way that they were taught to you, but instead use the moves not the way that they were taught to you, but the way that you understood them. And then being able to focus, okay, let's enlighten this person on this thing, let's focus this person on this other thing. You just need to go back and do freaking squats for the next 10 years because you have weak legs.
And we're talking about him.
Yeah. But we start seeing deficiencies, your horse stance sucks, so go do it for 35 minutes.
And then come back.
I know my horse stance sucks, so I supplemented with leg days. I do leg days twice a week because I know I need more leg strength for my kicks and my shifts. But that's me personal, and that's something he taught me to pay attention to, was what do I need as a practitioner, as a student? And just under that same mentality, what do I need as an instructor, still learning to be an instructor and hopefully continue learning through the rest of my life how to be a better instructor? But what do I need right now that is going to help me get this across to this student clearer, more effectively, so I can start seeing the results, just like we did in that seminar?
Yeah. That was a fun day.
Yeah.
We didn't know how it was going to turn out.
Nope. We tried it. We did it twice.
We actually, for the first time in our lives, people asking, "Can we take a picture with you?"
Yeah, they were like going up to him and be like, "Hey, can we take a picture with you?" And I was like,
Why? But that was the coolest thing.
"I'll start selling you his picture."
Yeah, I know. That was a lot of, and what a, that was very humbling. It was really cool. It was like, I didn't think I did anything special, because to us,
It's
what
basic
is that?
stuff.
Yeah, that's the basic stuff that we do. So it's like,
I will praise you in this regard, because yes, our students know how to hook, because we geared them for that, but it was over time, over classes.
yeah,
I think you can say that it was innovative how you took what was originally weeks of work into a 30-minute class.
Yeah, which was really dude, I was tickled. I mean,
But
I was
here's the innovation part, and I don't mean like the 30-minute part. I mean the part that you respected these martial artists, regardless of what rank they were,
yeah,
so much that you said, you guys can handle this.
right.
So I'm not going to sit here and explain step by step. I'm not going to tell you the
No,
introduction
no,
of things. I'm
we
not
didn't
going
have
to
do that,
make
yeah.
you through this drill, this practice. I respect you enough. Here's what we're trying to accomplish. Try these things out on your way to be able to do it.
Right.
And it was just little drills.
Yeah, simple thing. I mean, we only spent like maybe 3 or 4 minutes of
On each one,
each
yeah.
section of that, and say, okay, everybody break, go
Next one.
go try it,
All right.
and then come back. Here, add this, go try it, and come back. 30 minutes later, they were like,
They were
hey. Yeah. No matter where they were.
Yep.
One gal that was doing it, she's like, this is similar to what we do, but it was nowhere near similar. I was
Yeah.
like, it was just so.
Was that the same people that they did this in Awali and you just walked in?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Right? It's like, how are you just able to do these things? And it's like, you just understand what can and can happen.
Yeah.
What can and can happen. So.
And it's really what it boils down to for us is that understanding. Can we pass that understanding on
Yep.
for the individual? And
Yeah,
then-
it was a fun day. I
Yeah, it
enjoyed
was.
that.
So innovative, I don't know. I wouldn't go that far personally because I've known him way too long. And
But it was an honor
Yeah,
to
it was an
receive
honor
that,
to
by
be
the
there,
way.
yeah.
I want you to know that, I don't take any of that lightly.
No.
When that was given to me by the Hall of Honors, thank you, Grandmaster Rick
Sinclair.
and GM Bob Gomez
for
guys
nominating
were
you,
awesome
yeah.
for nominating. That was, it was a surprise because I didn't think I was doing anything more than everybody else does. But thank you guys.
Yeah.
Well appreciated, and it really humbles me, because I didn't know anybody was watching.
No, you suck at everything else in your life
Right.
except teaching.
Yeah.
That's like the only good thing he's at.
And making balloons. Come on.
Oh, that's right. Balloon animals. Yeah.
See, even
Ah, okay,
God
okay.
damn it.
All right. I
All
think
right.
we're done for today, folks. Again, the VEA, November 9th. Be sure to be there. And hopefully you take something away from this. Really? Could you shut her up?
Oh, she's
Enough.
right, though. You were
Why are you getting riled up?
fast
What?
talking me. Lucci, say 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. Cut!
Cut.